Greetings, creeps, and welcome to HorrorGirl Problems, the podcast. Thanks for listening, Mom and Nephew Noah. This week marks the 170th anniversary of Mary Shelley's death, and to celebrate the Queen of Horror, the Godmother of Goth, Mary Wollstonecraft Shelley, today we will be talking about A Nightmare Wakes. This is Nora Unkel's directorial feature debut, and it's sort of a biographical fantasy horror drama of Mary's life as she's creating arguably one of the most prolific literary works of our time. Frankenstein has gone on to have countless adaptations and inspired and spawned a slew of other works. Now, when you read something like Frankenstein, you may wonder to yourself, where did these ideas come from? What wonderful stroke of madness inspired this? It's something that lives on over a century later and has solidified Mary Shelley as something of a legend and literary giant. But you have to wonder about the flip side of that. Legendary status and basically immortality in a sense, but at what cost? This movie focuses largely on the summer in Geneva where Lord Byron famously challenged his friends to each write a ghost story. Mary's waking dream that inspired the story of Frankenstein, and by this point in her life, Mary had already suffered major tragedies. Her mother died during childbirth, so she never got to meet her. She had lost 2 children of her own by this point, and the movie follows her spiraling inward and retreating within. Much of the movie is spent combining straightforward biography interspersed with visions or waking dreams. I'm not entirely sure how many creative liberties were taken with Mary's story, but I did learn a lot about this woman that I'm such a fan of, and if anything, this movie has prompted me to seek out more information about her. I'm inspired to learn more and to be able to separate fact from narrative dramatization. Like its subject matter, the movie itself has elements of a gothic romance. A Nightmare Wakes is now streaming on Shudder. Check it out, and hopefully it also inspires you to dig in and learn a little bit more about the life of Mary Shelley. Also this week, Final Girls Berlin Film Festival is going on right now, showcasing horror cinema that's directed, written, or produced by women and non-binary filmmakers. And while all the feature films are geo-locked to Germany, there are blocks of shorts available for American audiences to stream. I don't know, if there's anyone in Germany listening to this podcast right now, then you can check out the features. Otherwise, I think I have a primarily American audience, so if you are in the US, you can still check out the blocks of short films from the festival. Today, which is Thursday, February 4th, you can watch the It's Coming From Inside the Screen block of cyber horror shorts. I actually already checked out this particular block, and there's a lot of really great, original, fresh, fun ideas here, so check it out if you get a chance. A new block becomes available each day this week through Saturday the 6th, so coming up we've got Cabin Fever, Eye for an Eye, Young Blood, and Bursting a Gut. Each block is roughly about $8 US, a little less than that. You can watch live and also check out the Q&A with filmmakers after each block. Or if you can't live stream it, you can still purchase the tickets for a block, and then you'll have 22 hours to start the movie and then 24 hours to finish the block once you've started it. That's Final Girls Berlin Film Festival. Check that out. Also, it is Black History Month, and what better time to check out Horror Noir, the history of black horror. I believe this is still streaming on Shudder. This is really just fucking a fantastic documentary. Check it out if you haven't already, and if you have, rewatch it. Or you know what, better yet, go and buy the Blu-ray because that's available now. Thank you so much to everyone who has bought something from the HorrorGirl Problems shop. A lot of you guys have been snagging t-shirts, and that is fucking awesome. Shout out to Isa Lopez, who reposted the Isa Lopez Rules shirt, and that was just meta as fuck. I have a whole series of Final Girls Rule shirts, and also The Creators, celebrating some of the women behind some of my favorite horror films. Just in time to celebrate Women in Horror Month next month. And honestly, year-round. That's what we're trying to celebrate year-round, right? Alright, that's all I got. Check out A Nightmare Wakes, now streaming on Shudder. Also check out Horror Noir on Shudder. And check out the Final Girls Berlin Film Festival. Some really cool stuff happening over there. As always, thank you so much for listening. Please rate, comment, subscribe, share with your creepy friends, and I'll catch you next week for some more spooky shit.